Today I'm going to talk about an album that I never tire of, that I always go back to, and it's unlike any other album I've got. Let's do it. Welcome to By Candlelight, being goth, post-punk and darkwave straight into your brain. Today I'm going to talk about one of my favourite albums, and that is Maplebee's Chasing Eva. Maplebee is the alias of Melanie Garside, who is the sister of Katie Jane, who is or was the lead singer of Daisy Chainsaw. Melanie herself was also a member of the ensemble Medieval Babes that included members of the band Miranda Sex Garden. So I want to talk about Maplebee's first album, Chasing Eva, which was released in 2004. This is just one of my essential albums. It's one I always go back to. And just looking at the cover, I can honestly say that the cover really sums up the music on this album. Despite containing 21 tracks, this album very rarely, if at all, loses its path. In fact, I'm having to resist the urge to go through every single track because we will be here for hours and hours. So what is this album and why do I love it so much? Chasing Eva is an immersive, multi-layered album of beautiful songs. Every listen seems to bring out new layers that I've never heard before. I really hate comparisons, but if I was going to sum up the general mood of this album, I would look at something like Willow's song from The Wicker Man. This album has a variety of instruments: flutes, violins, organs, piano, and an accordion. So let's look at some of my favourite songs on this album. So this album opens really well with what I can only describe as audio ASMR. And that song is called Bell Song. So this song kind of like slinks along, and yes, there are cats purring in the background, and that is the ASMR that I was talking about. So straight away it sets the scene. You know the kind of album this is going to be. Beautiful violin parts, and I think even a double bass in there somewhere. And then we're straight onto Moth Touch. So you've got like an acoustic guitar that leads the way, and it's joined by strings and these like almost strange atmospheric sounds in the background. I'm assuming they're synthesized and electronic. So Melanie's layered vocals really come to the forefront. The imagination and creativity already is absolutely breathtaking. So Around for Eva, it's got this kind of question and answer vocal part, and it's just with like layers and layers of reverb. This one really opens out and it doesn't feel quite as introverted as the other songs so far. If I was to choose one favourite song on the album, it would have to be Sun on Snow. I mentioned The Wicker Man earlier, so if The Wicker Man was made today, this song would be its Willow song. Not that there's anything wrong with Willow's song. I'm going to leave Willow's song alone. So I would say when you hear the recorder, that's the real Wicker Man-esque part of this song, I would say. You get a real cosy sense of pagan witchcraft in this as well. Then we're on to The Messenger, which sort of feels a bit more commercial, if there is a commercial song on this album at all, from acoustic guitar, and then you get the fantastic floating chorus. And I would say that this track really has the right amount of dark and light within it. So All Right Build Me a House is, it's another cozy, witchy, curl up by the fire kind of song. So I would say that this is an album to really put on and drift into. It's got a mood all of its own, and there's actually a song on there called Cocooner, and I would say cocoon-like is a good way of describing how you feel. It does really feel like a wintry album by a real fire. It's just so cozy. It's just, you just put it on and you sink right into it. It's fantastic. As I mentioned earlier, there's 21 songs on this album. So to maintain that high bar of quality is just astounding. I really recommend this album to anyone who likes to curl up and feel cozy and have kind of very witchy pagan music in the background. So that's my review of Maple B's Chasing Eva. If you've heard this album, or even better, if you like this album, I'd love to know what you think about it. So just let me know in the comments. Until next time, see you later.